Before electricity, before automation, power came from nature itself. Water turned wheels. Wood became livelihood. This mill is not a relic, it is proof that sustainable technology existed long before the modern world named it. This is Yosef Schneider. Born here in 1923, his life unfolded in a humble wooden world known as the Schneider Mühle, just outside Myburg. By trade, he was a sawyer, one of the old guard. In his own sawmill, he carved out a living with grit and skill, keeping the blades turning and the timber moving until 1968. In the heart of the Eifel lies Holzberg, a quiet village of just a few hundred people, resting peacefully some 20 kilometers from Dawn. On this day, a group of curious students from Dawn High School step into the Schneider Mühle sawmill. What they enter is not a museum frozen in time, but a rare survivor, one of the last sawmills still preserved in its full form and still running. Its master, Yosef Schneider, poured decades of care into restoring every beam, every blade. He welcomed visitors not just to see the mill, but to experience living history. So much had to be repaired and rebuilt, Schneider explains. But we wanted more than a working machine. We wanted something future generations could learn from. Once the mill was ready to receive visitors, life returned to its old rhythm. Schneider came every week, and whenever someone asked, he guided them through the machinery, sharing stories etched into wood and steel. Safety barriers are temporarily removed so every movement can be clearly seen. At the front, a chute carries surplus water away. Its flow is controlled from the operator's platform with a simple pull of a rope. The amount of water depends entirely on the position of the sluice gate, sliding down a gently inclined channel before striking the massive wheel below. The wheel itself weighs nearly 3.5 tons. It turns slowly, no more than 10 revolutions per minute. Yet each rotation drives 18 saw strokes. That means the blade rises and falls almost 200 times every minute. Schneider estimates the system runs at 95% efficiency, a testament to meticulous design refined over generations. From the wheel, power travels along a sturdy axle to a 3-meter wide gear. This engages a smaller gear, transferring motion through belts to the saw. Beneath the frame, the belt passes over a free pulley and only shifts to the drive pulley when the operator pulls a hand lever. Only then does the saw come to life. Every movement is deliberate, a precise dance between timber, water, and human skill. Two long connecting rods, each about 2 meters in length, convert the wheel's rotary motion into the steady up and down stroke of the saw. The blade moves only when the log carriage is engaged. Cables slowly pull the timber forward, feeding it into the hungry teeth of the blade. To demonstrate, Schneider sets the machine in motion once again, bringing the old mechanisms vividly back to life. The mill's story stretches back generations. Schneider's father first ran it with a single saw blade. Later, the frame was upgraded to support 2 connecting rods. In time, Yosef Schneider himself added a second saw, expanding the mill's output and capability. As the cut progresses, cables gently pull the log away from the blade. Schneider carefully adjusts its position to achieve the desired thickness, marking measurements with 2 simple nails. A wooden gauge is set against the saw as a fixed reference. Each adjustment reflects skill refined over decades. Right beside the cutting position, another wooden gauge sets the exact width of each slice. By measuring the distance between the nails, Schneider determines the thickness of the next cut. A wooden block, firmly clamped to the saw frame, serves as a reliable reference point. With this simple system, he can repeat precise cuts again and again, fully using the mill's strengths and respecting the timber it was built to handle. The winch is powered through a train of gears and push rods, setting the carriage in motion with slow, deliberate force. Circular motion becomes clean, linear movement, an elegant example of mechanical efficiency. When the cut is finished, Schneider halts the mill by pulling the heavy lever that controls the water flow, sealing the gate with practiced ease. When the sluice is opened again, water rushes down, and the mill springs instantly back to life. Once the final cut is made, the transformation is complete. Raw timber becomes usable lumber, clean, measured, and ready for its next life. Schneider finishes the last section by hand with an axe, a final human touch that marks the end of the process. What began as a water-driven motion now stands as a finished product, shaped by patience, precision, and time. The strain of production is carried by the saw blade and the wooden gear teeth. After several cuts, the blade is removed and sharpened with a special file, restoring its edge for the next log. Older blades reveal a practical intelligence in their design, every fifth tooth left straight to clear sawdust efficiently, keeping the cut clean without wasting energy. Once processed, the lumber travels along tracks leading out to the yard, where spruce, oak, and beech are stacked and prepared for use. These boards were not mass-produced. Each piece reflects controlled speed, measured force, and material respect qualities that define production long before modern factories. Today, mills like Schneider Mühle stand as proof that sustainable production is not a new invention. Water-powered systems once turned natural energy directly into usable goods, without excess, without waste. As modern industries search for greener solutions, this mill reminds us that efficiency, renewability, and craftsmanship once worked together quietly, reliably, and long before the world called it green technology.